Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
Good evening and welcome to the April 27th, 2026 Town of Exeter Select Board meeting as the hour is 6:45 p.m. I'm calling the meeting to order. And our first business this evening is to go downstairs to the wheelwright room for a board interview for the Budget Recommendations Committee. And the board will return at approximately 7 o'clock for a regular business meeting. Thank you.
For this week's report, amphibians are on the move in Exeter. America 250 flag raised at Town Hall. Exeter Run for Hope races for a cause. SAU 16 updates from Blue Hawk Media. And the fire department trains for the worst. For Exeter TV, I'm Dan Monchek from downtown Exeter, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Exeter. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread word about the show and all things Exeter. You can also head over to the town website and subscribe to the town's email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. For our first segment, we've been hearing reports of migrating amphibians across town. To get to the bottom of this totally fascinating mystery, we sent Exeter TV's naturalist out into the field.
To the untrained eye, this collection of water behind me may seem like just a puddle, but it's actually a whole ecosystem that's crucial for local wildlife. We met up with Exeter's Conservation and Sustainability Planner, Kristen Murphy, to learn more about the importance of this habitat.
So we're out here in one of our town forests, and we're looking for these seasonal puddles in the woods. So they're called vernal pools, and they're ponds of water that fill up with snow melt and early rains and stay there for a certain period of time. Critters that grow up here tend to return here to lay additional eggs, so they have generations of those individuals that have been coming to this pond. We've lost a lot of the woods to development, and so when we do find these vernal pools, it's really important that we protect them. So these are wood frog. If you touch them, they're individual eggs, but they cling together. Whereas this has a bunch of eggs kind of encapsulated in a single gel coating. Certain species like wood frog and spotted salamanders depend on these seasonal pools because they don't exist everywhere. It's a very unique habitat. It becomes their nursery for their young. That's the only place in the world that they lay eggs. Spotted salamanders are really charismatic. They almost have like this smile on their face if you look at them. They're amphibians, so their skin is moist all of the time, and it's a dark salamander with bright yellow spots. Wood frogs, I think, are also super charismatic. They are small frogs that have like a dark mask by their eyes on both sides of their face. They also have a really unique feature in that they can freeze completely and thaw out, and they'd survive doing that. So it's really kind of an interesting frog species that we have. The movement of spotted salamanders and wood frogs happen in the dead of night. And it's always on a rainy night in early spring when temperatures climb above 40 degrees. When roads cross along their ancestral pathway that leads them to the pool, it becomes a barrier for them. People don't really see a frog hopping across the road, and so their life is at risk. Connecting them to that pool is really important. Slowing down during those rainy nights, or better yet, completely staying off the road if you can, is the best thing that you can do. Drinkwater Road is a really important area. There's vernal pools on both sides of that road. And so if you go on Drinkwater Road in a rainy spring night, it's almost impossible to drive without hitting amphibians. Vernal pools and the critters that rely on them are sort of keystone species. They are species that other species depend on for survival, not just the pools themselves, but all the nutrients that the eggs provide. Raptors in the woods, wildlife, Turtles will be passing through here, so some of them are just using the water, others might be actually eating the eggs that are there. It's important that these frogs are able to lay so many eggs in hopes that some survive. You know, the more eggs you have, the more likely there are that will survive to the next generation.
We set up wildlife cameras to monitor this vernal pool and find out what visitors will pass through. Well, we'll see what that gets. Over the next several days, a pair of ducks consistently stopped by to chow down on some wood frog eggs that provided them with tons of nutrients. To get the frog's eye view, Exeter TV's chief amphibian correspondent, Isabel Johnston, has been hopping around town to help us ribbit together the full story.
Okay, where should I look? Thanks, Bob. I'm here on Drinkwater Road to give you a closer look at vernal pools and the adversity faced by amphibians in your backyard. I'm joined by longtime Exeter resident and frog, Mr. David Hopsalot, to take a closer look. Let's jump in.
Yeah, thanks so much, Isabel. So we're actually out here on Drinkwater Road. This has been my home for a very long time. My parents came here, my parents' parents came here, my parents' parents' parents came here. This is just like a happy place for me and my family out here.
Absolutely, so a lot of happy memories for you guys on Drinkwater Road.
Oh, memories back from the days of when I was a little tadpole, you know, coming up to when I'm a big time frog like this, you know. And now all of a sudden, there's this big old road back here. You know, for generations, we were able to just walk across the woods. Now there's a big road here. It's tough out here to be a frog like me.
And I think it also speaks to tough being a frog just about anywhere.
That's the truth. I'll tell you what. Frogs, salamanders, we all deal with this. It's a big issue.
And Mr. Hopsalot, how can viewers at home leap in to help?
Yeah, so if you want to help, you could go to a road by you, pick up a local frog, take him in the direction that he's going, and send him on his way. Frogs are little, cars are big. It takes a long time for little legs to get where they're going.
Thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you being a liaison between the amphibian community as well as the citizens of Exeter, New Hampshire. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your night.
Are you kidding me, Isabel? I appreciate you highlighting me and my community here. Up next, we recently attended one of the first America 250 events held in Exeter on Patriots Day, and we talked with the Rockingham Choral Society to learn more about their upcoming 250 event as Exeter's celebrations head into full swing.
On April 20th, a crowd gathered in front of the historic Exeter Town Hall. Meeting on Patriots Day, commemorating the opening battles of the American Revolutionary War, community members were present to mark the start of America 250 celebrations in Exeter by raising a flag above the intersection of Front and Water Street. Students from the Exeter High School and Lincoln Street School Chorus kicked off the event with a rendition of the national anthem. This was followed by a commemorative poem written by Doreen West, read by Tanisha Johnson of Black Lives Matter, New Hampshire.
Many battles don't make a man. Man makes battles, many battles though, within himself, wrestling moral compass. Battle tested with tested battles, some lost like the Battle of Bunker Hill. And he'll battle up hills, hill battles revealing still shadows. British authority controlling no more, untenable Boston, a beacon for democracy. Yet he'll saddle up a militia of men to build.
And with that, an America 250 flag was hoisted high up for all to see, a signal that Exeter's 250 celebration spirit is high. This was one of many events planned by the Exeter 250 Celebration Commission that has been working hard to celebrate America's 250th birthday by diving into our declaration, our town, and our stories. The next day, members of the Rockingham Choral Society were rehearsing in the Exeter High School band room for another upcoming 250th event.
Yeah, so we have a big program coming up called Sing Democracy 250. It's a consortium of choirs from across the nation. I think there's about 30 states that are participating in this. What we're doing is we're doing a New Hampshire premiere of two new works. One by Brandon Boyd called Redeem the Dream, and the other one is called Us by Michael Busewitz Quorum. So really excited to bring some new repertoire to New Hampshire and the community.
Music director Jason Throne had a difficult task ahead of him selecting what pieces to perform here in Exeter as a part of the National Sing Democracy 250 series.
I wanted to choose repertoire that would be a little bit different as far as just not doing just a large set of patriotic tunes. Even though we do have that element in the concert, we do have an amazing arrangement of Star Spangled Banner, and we're actually closing our program with a really incredible arrangement of America. So that component is there. But I wanted to bring to the community some obviously new pieces with the commissions, but also music that would kind of challenge our history a little bit through music. For instance, Redeem the Dream is based on Langston Hughes' poem, Let America Be America Again. And it is something that is a real retrospect of, parts of our history, the hope and the dreams of what people want and expect from being in America, but also kind of taking you through some of the hardships along the way. And I also think that in the repertoire really centers around democracy, and that it's important that we are involved in our democracy, and it's really up to us whether or not it works or it doesn't.
America, be the dream, be the dream, the dreamer's dream. Let America.
We just wanted to celebrate the 250th anniversary, but we wanted it to be inspiring. And all the reviews that are coming in are saying people are leaving amazingly inspired on how they can participate in this democracy. It's okay to be political without being insanely partisan. You need to have a voice in this. And if we do that, that's what they intended with the Declaration. It's very inspiring, it truly is. That's what we're hoping for, is to bring that message.
The group will be performing 2 concerts this spring, with a performance on May 2nd at Exeter High School and another performance at Christ Church here in Exeter on May 3rd. More information about the concerts and the group can be found at rockinghamchoral.org. For more America 250 celebrations happening in and around Exeter, visit the town website, exeternh.gov.
The Exeter Run for Hope 5K kicks off on June 6th. Gabe Perez spoke to one of the race organizers to learn more about the cause behind the event.
Here in Exeter, there are always ways for folks from all around to come and contribute to those in need. One of the ways of doing that is the 2nd annual Exeter Run for Hope, a 5K run or walking event hosted by Exeter Oral Surgery in partnership with Refugee International. Dr. Gregory Byron from Exeter Oral Surgeries explains how it all comes together.
Last year, we had the opportunity to go on a trip to Guatemala with an organization called Refuge International, and they've been going to Guatemala about 12 times a year for the last 20 years or so, and they're providing a lot of emergency care to underserved populations in Guatemala. We were able to get connected with that group, and we've been lucky enough to go twice already with them.
100% of the proceeds raised in the 5K help support medical and dental care for underserved communities in Guatemala, as Dr. Byron and his team traveled down to support those in need, as he explains.
A lot of the work that we do down there is emergency dental care. So the patients there, I would say the majority of the patients are children between age 5 and 10, and they don't have any access to clean water sources. They wind up getting a lot of dental cavities leading to infections, and a lot of the work that we're doing down there is strictly extractions to help them prevent in any infections. I created Exeter Run for Hope 5K. It's a race or a walk, whatever people want to do, just to raise awareness in our community, to get the whole Exeter community together, to be a part of something that's bigger than ourselves here and look abroad for all of these patients that have no access to dental or medical care, and allow us to, even if you can't be a part of the mission trip itself, to be able to help us and help the Refuge International organization help the patient populations in Guatemala.
Sign up has already begun, with the run scheduled to begin Saturday, June 16th. If you're interested in participating in the 5K, helping serve those underserved in other communities, then you can sign up for the race at exeterrunforhope.com.
Up next, we have SAU 16 updates from Blue Hawk Media in this week's edition of 60 and 16.
Welcome back to the April 27, 2026 Town of Exeter Select Board meeting. The board called the meeting to order at 6:45, went downstairs for a board interview, and now we're going to start our regular business meeting. Good evening to everybody watching at home. Good evening to my colleagues on the board, respective town staff, and certainly those in attendance here this evening. I'd like to start by introducing the board. To my right, Selectman Dan Chartrand. Good evening and happy birthday.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening to you.
And to my left, our clerk, Selectwoman Nancy Belanger.
Good evening, everyone.
Selectwoman Julie Gilman.
Good evening.
And our Vice Chair, Molly Cowan, is not with us this evening. She had a conflict, but we expect her back at our next meeting. We have our interim town manager to my right, Melissa Roy. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Our recording secretary, Joanna Bartel. Good evening. And my name is Nico Papakostandis. We have a pretty packed agenda this evening, so we'll get going. First order of business is public comment. This is an opportunity for members of the public to come forward with any comment for the select board. We do ask if your comment is relative to an agenda item, you wait. I'll pause for a moment to see if there's any public comment.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
And if you could just come to the mic and state your, state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes. My name is Adam Gaston.
Hi.
11 Chestnut Street in Exeter, New Hampshire.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening. My family and I have been displaced from our home at 11 Chestnut Street since March 23rd. I'm here because my wife, my two young children, one is 3 and one is 5, have lab confirmed mycotoxin poisoning and mold exposure. Since April 7th, I have reached out to Madison Bailey and Doug Eastman numerous times. I have sent photos of water intrusion, breaches of law and statute, and our air quality tests and inspections. I have asked where to bring their toxic medical results, and I have asked for the town's oversight on the remediation plan. The response from these officers has been total silence and disregard. Weeks have now gone by without a single reply to a single email. I have sent Doug Eastman evidence of literal breaches of law, clear retaliation with blatant and willful negligence by my landlord, David Coey. And just like Madison, Doug has ignored and done nothing. I may not be someone who owns the Ioka Theater, 45 Water Street, or 11 Chestnut Street, or multiples of other properties throughout the town of Exeter. But I was under the impression that code enforcement and its officers were here to enforce the law and protect, not to treat the safety of residents as an optional favor when convenient. Accountability must be the standard for everyone in Exeter, not just a philosophy that we talk about. My family is being bullied and has been displaced for over a month, yet it seems my landlord operates with full immunity because of his status in this community. I am not asking for a handout. I am asking for these departments to do the jobs that they are paid to do. I'm handing the clerk our medical records and the evidence of every ignored communication, and I expect an inspection of 11 Chestnut Street, a confirmation of a failed and undone remediation, and I expect the town to stop choosing which landlords and individuals have to follow the law and which ones do not.
Thank you. First of all, you're a resident of Exeter.
Yes, sir.
And no, I'm saying you are a resident of Exeter.
Yes,
regardless of whether you own or you rent, you are a resident. You and your family are residents.
Thank you.
And you are important.
Thank you.
And this is the first that the board is hearing of this. I'm not sure if the interim town manager has heard of this.
No.
She was actually CC'd on an email 2 weeks ago.
Okay. But I'm telling you that tomorrow morning, we are going to look into this immediately.
I would appreciate that.
And Ms. Roy, I would like to be notified and updated, and I want to make sure that everything is done appropriately.
Yes.
And sir, my email is on the website.
Yes, sir.
And if you're not satisfied, please reach out an email, and we will have a follow-up conversation. It will not be in writing. It will be in a conversation.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah, could we all just get copied on that and just no reply? Thank you.
Sure.
Yes, you're very welcome, and I put this for the chair.
Okay, thank you.
You know what?
Thank you.
It's all gonna go to,
Thank you for your time.
thank
you
you. Looks like it's all the same.
I'm going to,
I was gonna give mine to Melissa.
these have medical records. I'm going to
Yeah,
pass
I
these to you.
don't want to, okay, thank you. I don't want them to get into anyone else's hand, so,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, and you'll make sure those get to the appropriate.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and as Selectwoman Belanger said, please update the board.
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other public comment this evening? And let's see, I don't see anybody online, so we'll move forward. We have a proclamation to read for Municipal Clerks Week. Town of Exeter, New Hampshire proclamation, Municipal Clerks Week, May 3rd through the 9th of 2026. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, initiated in 1969 by HMC and endorsed by all of its members throughout the United States, Canada, and 15 other countries, will celebrate and reflect on 57 years as a time-honored and vital part of local government. And whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all, and whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in educational programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, county, and international professional organizations, and whereas it's most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the municipal clerk, now therefore I, Nico Papakostandis, Select Board Chair, Town of Exeter, hereby proclaim and affirm May 3rd through the 9th of 2026 as Municipal Clerks Week within the Town of Exeter, New Hampshire, and hereby extend gratitude, respect, and support for our municipal clerk, Andrea Kohler, and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform through exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the Town of Exeter to be affixed this 27th day of April in the year of our Lord 2026. I want to thank Andy Kohler,
Yes.
our municipal clerk, and our deputy clerk, Jennifer Shoup, and all of our clerks down there. Sign this. Can I ask you to hand that to Ms. Roy, please? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have two sets of minutes to review, the first of which is the March 30th, 2026 Exeter Select Board meeting. Are there any revisions or edits?
I only have one to the March 30th,
Okay.
and that would be on line 60, line 60. Elaine Hayes, Hayes doesn't have an E. Very simple, sorry. But, yeah,
All right.
she's running into that everywhere. But that's the only one I have.
You got that, Joanna? Okay. Any other revisions, amendments? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the Town of Exeter Select Board meeting minutes of March 30th, 2026 as amended.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. We also have our April 13th, 2026 minutes to review. Are there any edits?
I have none.
Okay. Anybody else?
No.
Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the Town of Exeter Select Board regular meeting minutes of April 13th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't get my hand up fast enough. I would just amend Dr. Rawson to either Principal Rawson or Mr. Rawson at his request. I just emailed him to ask him.
Okay.
So it was very complimentary and wonderful to see him here. and
It has
support.
his principal, PEA Principal William Rawson.
But then you continue to speak about doctor.
Okay.
Further down.
So
I will make a motion to reconsider our approval of,
I will withdraw, yes, I'll withdraw my motion to
oh, it's
accept.
not withdrawing, it's, we voted. So,
we didn't vote. We had a motion and a second.
okay, you're right.
Thank you. Okay, so
I'll take your,
withdraw, motion to withdraw it.
and
It's several.
okay. So we'd like to amend, Joanna, just any time Bill Rawson is referred as Dr. Rawson, if we could put Principal Rawson.
Yeah, it'd be anywhere between line 81 and 101. I can narrow it down that much. It looks like 3 or 4. So I will move to accept the meeting minutes of April 13th, 2026 as amended.
May I have a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes 4-0. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I'm going to ask the board, I had initially asked for the board committee commission reappointments to be the third discussion item because that's going to take some time and I don't want to hold up folks that are here for other discussion items. So we're going to move that unless the board objects. Seeing no objection. We have included in our packet the 2026 Select Board Representative Committees and Boards. That was there for our review.
I have one change.
I do too. Is it the same one?
Well, on water and sewer.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're not an alternate.
Both Molly and I are water and sewer select board reps per the vote of the town.
So Ms. Roy, could you have that corrected, please?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. And I didn't see any other.
No, I didn't either. I'm just going to
So you
find it
thought
because
that
it's not
was
alphabetized, so it's not that easy, but okay.
I did.
That was it.
Water and sewer. Oh, I see,
Yep.
Rep.
Yep, the voters, that was 2 years ago. And finally, well, not finally, the Sustainability Advisory Committee has requested that the Select Board consider some roles changing within certain members. Mr. Chartrand, would you like to explain that to us?
Yes, this is all just, we're just moving the deck chairs around to accommodate people and their availability for meetings. In the case of Julie, she's less available for the meeting time that we have landed on. Sarah is available for that meeting time, so Julie will remain as an alternate and Sarah will move to a regular member. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is fairly self-explanatory. Ryan's moving out of town, and we were asking Carol to be moved from alternate to regular member.
Has Ryan officially resigned?
I don't know that for a fact, but he's asked to step down. And his term is, I think his term is up?
No, it's April 27th.
Oh, it's next.
Yeah.
Do you know if we have that in writing from him?
I am not aware of it in writing. I don't know if Kristen meant this memo to serve as it in writing or if he has given Kristen anything.
I would say if she's putting this in a memo that he has resigned to her, and I'm comfortable approving the recommendation of the rest of the board.
Under these circumstances,
And if there's
I'm
some
fine with that.
misunderstanding, there will be spots that he could be moved to. So.
Okay.
Just good to have it in writing.
Thanks for the explanation.
Would you like a motion?
Sure.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Julie Gaunt to an alternate role. Do you want them all together or individually?
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
was
Julie Gaunt to an alternate slot with a term through April of 2028 on the Sustainability Advisory Committee. And then I'd also, in the same motion, I would make a motion to move Sarah Koff to a regular member with a term ending 4/27. And then also accept regretfully Ryan Jean's resignation for the term ending 4/27 and move Carol Olmsted from an alternate position to a regular position with the term ending in April 2027.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion carries 4-0.
Do you want this?
While you're handing that off, I'd like to thank Ryan for the work he did on the Sustainability Committee. I was the rep when he first joined, and interesting, he joined because he used to just come to the meetings. And as a member of the public, and we would talk about at each meeting how we had openings. And finally, after a meeting, we invited him to put in his papers, and he did some really good work. So I'm excited for whatever his next endeavor is, but we'll miss him here.
He's also done great work in the region.
Yeah.
with
Revision Energy.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Revision Energy.
Thank
as
you,
a,
that's why his name
technician.
seems familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's not just volunteering; it's also his day job.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Amazing guy with a lot of knowledge. So we will miss you, Ryan, and we wish you luck as you move forward.
Perfect, thank you. We'll jump into our discussion items. First discussion item, we have the chair of the tree committee with us this evening, who's going to step up and tell us about Tree City USA.
Tree City.
Welcome, Eileen.
Thank you. Well, you folks really started it all, you know. You came in all
Raring to go.
raring to go and said,
And
what can we do? What do you think?
Taking off like a ball of fire.
Why don't you just start with Tree City USA? I mean, we're like, Tree City USA? Okay, what's that? You know, and it sort of went on from there. So the impetus of, you know, hearing those chainsaws and seeing things go down is there's nothing that can get you more charged up to want to do something than hearing that and saying, why did you have to do that? And what can we do about it? So, and there's some amazing people in this group, from public works guys who dig a tree and have to move a tree and they feel like, you know, they had to move the tree from the library. And Mark Schultz says, "You're breaking my heart." But they moved it like they were moving one of their kids, you know, and I think it's going to do fine up on the knolls up at the barn, and it looked great. So there's a million things like that that have gone on, from connections with the kids, as the birthday boy over here can attest to, is digging holes at Lincoln Street and getting seriously muddy. So the more that we can do to involve different areas in town, different parts of the community, and Kristen's been incredible. You know, if I could pay her something, I would keep paying her. Just that's all I can say. She's fabulous. But I mean, she'll get a grant for this or a grant for that, and all of a sudden, I said, "How'd you do?" "Well, I don't know. I saw it and I applied." And the application, when she was contacted about it, they said, "We've never seen an application this thorough. What could we do but say yes?" So I can't take any credit for that. She's just like the queen of filling in the blanks and getting it there. So, but it's been a great experience. So we're going to keep chugging along. So, and the support from the town with real money after a while, and water trucks that can now get us through, hopefully, another drought situation. And there's just a whole lot of support. And when people see us doing stuff, they go, "Oh, you're on the tree. I didn't know we had a tree committee. Well, why don't you come down to Founders Park? Or we're going to have a party for the birch tree at Swayze." And everybody goes, "Oh, but my kids, they had their wedding pictures taken there." Or, you know, stories upon stories. So that's the kind of stuff. You realize that trees have a connection to a lot of people. Even Dan said, "You know, I keep an eye on that tree outside my store." You know, it's part of your life, you know. So it's been a joy for me to do this, and you know, we've got an incredible group of people with different kinds of expertise, and so I just sort of feel like whatever you can supply. I'm not an arborist. I'm not any of that. But it's great to have willing people who are experts and willing hands. So I just, the little plaques that go up there are kind of cute and all that stuff. But it's sort of like, do you need a badge? You don't need a badge. It's just keep planting trees. So.
You need T-shirts.
We need a T-shirt.
You need T-shirts.
T-shirts. I don't know.
I think it would be great, but yeah. So may I just? It's the teamwork. You don't need to be an arborist. It's in your heart, and it's appreciated. Yeah. You and everyone on that committee has done amazing work.
Yeah.
So.
Well,
I appreciate
Kristen is one of the many talented folks within the town department that just do an incredible work not only seeking grants or identifying grants, but as you said, putting in the time to send in the most thorough and accurate. And she's quite good at getting grants as our town planner, Parks. We just have a lot of talent here, and it helps. It helps us, continue to do some of the things, the fun things that we want to do in the town outside of pipes and roads and pavement and such.
And then you see the video of her that Bob Glowacki took. They were stomping through the vernal pools talking about and I thought, is that part of your job description? She had her boots, she had her things, she knew exactly what these globs of eggs were. And
She's incredibly passionate.
Yeah, I've been on one of those walks. I learned a lot.
She was a riot.
But I can't let you walk away without giving you and the committee a lot of credit. And, when we did our reorg at our last meeting for what committees will be reps, I told my colleagues they'd have to fight me for the tree committee, because it's the best way to spend the second Tuesday morning of the month. I leave with a huge smile on my face, but in all seriousness, Eileen is chair. I mean, you do an amazing amount of work in preparation. The entire committee, like you, rolls up their sleeves. They're out and they are working this town and identifying, where can we plant new trees and all that. So really, it's a committee that gets things done and just brings happiness to the town. So thank you for the work you do as chair, and thanks to everybody on the committee. And it's just always a pleasure to spend an hour and a half with you each month. So,
well, come anybody. It's we had a kid from SST come and talk to us.
Yes, at the lab.
He was fabulous.
If I could add,
please.
You all on that committee have the highest title in the land. You are citizen enthusiasts, and this town would not work without folks like you. So thank you for being citizens and being enthusiastic about what you do.
And
I'm very
any
grateful.
minute now, there are going to be a ton of trees going down Portsmouth Avenue.
Oh, yay.
That's my dream. I'm on a T-shirt.
Couple more years.
With a jackhammer on it.
There you go.
Putting trees down the road. So
That'll complete that street.
stay tuned for that.
I'd like to thank you for the Arbor Day organization.
That was fun.
Yeah.
And the town of Exeter did proclaim April 25th, 2026 as Arbor Day, Saturday at 11 o'clock up at Rains Farm.
Yeah, it was official.
Yep.
You looked very official.
Green sweatshirt, yeah. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Take care.
You too. Okay. And our next discussion item, we have our town planner, Dave Sharples, here to give us an update on the Complete Streets Guideline and Policy Proposal. Dave, good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having us. As you mentioned, Dave Sharples, town planner. With me, I have Scott Bogle from the Rockingham Planning Commission.
Hi, Scott.
And I'm just going to briefly kind of why we're here, how we got here, and I understand that Scott gave you folks a presentation when I was out, but to the extent he's just going to say a few words to kind of bring you up to date what's happened since that presentation.
Thank you.
So we're here tonight for the Complete Streets study, because that has been finalized, at least by the planning board. So the 2018 master plan included a recommendation to conduct a complete street study. Specifically, the recommendation stated, based on its findings of the complete street studies, develop and adopt a complete streets policy that requires new roads and reconstruction of existing roads to incorporate transit, walking, and biking amenities where possible. So funding for this study was included in the capital improvement plan program, and it received funding in 2024. I believe this board took it as an initiative and a priority to get some funding for that back in 2024. I started the project with the Master Plan Oversight Committee and the Rockingham Planning Commission. But then I went out on leave, but fortunately for us, that Rockingham Planning Commission, the Planning Board, the MPOC kept going, and Steve Cronin actually stepped in. So much thanks to him for kind of stepping in and carrying the torch and continuing with the project, because when I came back in March, I had a full draft to review. So it was like, hey, all right, perfect timing. So I reviewed it with the planning board. We had a couple meetings. There were some minor revisions I made or suggested that were incorporated. But then the planning board just recently voted unanimously to recommend that the guidelines and policy be forwarded to the select board with a recommendation for adoption. I did provide a suggested motion. Again, I'm not too familiar with I don't think I've been involved in a select board policy. I don't know if you have multiple hearings or can act tonight, but I have a suggested motion when and if you're in a position to take action. I will note that the motion includes that the Complete Streets policy shall be effective immediately, but does not apply to projects that have already been funded unless it is practical to do so, as determined by the Director of Public Works, because he mentioned that was a bit of a concern, like if we're at 90% design, it's tough, to go back and within the existing funding we have. So, but play it on a case-by-case basis. I went over it with the director, and he was fine with that language. So with that, I will pass it off to Scott for his update.
Great, thank you.
Certainly. Yes, Scott Bogle with Rockingham Planning Commission. I had the opportunity to give you an update on the process in mid-December, I believe it was. Since that time, we did one more focus group meeting with residents and business owners. We did a series of iterative drafts of both the design guidelines document and the policy that were reviewed by the Master Plan Oversight Committee, as well as Steve Cronin and then Dave. We had several residents who attended a number of those Master Plan Oversight Committee meetings, and then presented the full documents to the Planning Board on February 12th. I think they did a work session the week after that, and then we presented it in final form on the 9th of April, where they, as Dave said, voted to endorse it and recommend its adoption by the Select Board. I'd be happy to say a bit about changes, most of them minor, that were incorporated since we did the presentation in December, if you like.
That'd be helpful, thank you.
Okay, great. I think really the main changes added a section on considerations for accessibility and universal design, which I don't think we had in the document in December. Refined the challenges section to acknowledge challenges, particularly around right-of-way acquisition, recognizing that in some cases getting abutting landowners to be willing to come to terms with the town on right-of-way to add sidewalks. That can be a challenge, sometimes a barrier. Added several elements to the implementation section, recommendations related to undertaking demonstration projects, specific reference to adding a Complete Streets development checklist to the project development process. And we had previously talked about prioritizing connectivity between the downtown and neighborhoods and schools. There was interest in adding reference also to grocery store and to the train station as important destinations in town that should be considered as priorities in thinking about connectivity. And then refining the list of performance metrics and dividing those really into two groups. One of those groups being implementation measures and the other kind of outcome measures or measures of effectiveness. So we included 3 implementation measures, one of those being feet of new sidewalk or multi-use path or shoulder bicycle route or street crossings that were improved, whether with signage, pavement markings, lighting, flashing beacons, etc. The second was number and percentage of projects out of the bicycle and pedestrian master plan, which are implemented. And then the third was an operational measure average time to complete snow clearance on the sidewalk network for the town. And then the second group of measures really are longer term, looking at outcomes from the infrastructure improvements that would be incorporated. And those included changes in bicycle and pedestrian usage in town, bike ped volumes, that would involve doing some baseline measurements now and then looking at the impact of projects as they're completed, whether that leads to more people walking and biking on certain corridors in town. Changes in speed as traffic calming measures are incorporated. Do we see automobile speeds coming down in those corridors? And then changes in crash patterns as we have implemented safety improvements on streets in town. Do we see reductions in crashes, particularly crashes involving vulnerable road users, people walking or bicycling?
Any questions for Dave and or Scott from the board?
Do you want to talk a little bit more about what the last meeting with the planning board, some of the concerns or the discussion about whether we can force a private project?
Yeah.
So there's some new language or tweaked language in the preamble.
Yes, that the version you have in front of you reflects those amendments. We discussed at the planning board because there was a clause in there that it shall apply to public, private, federal, state, any project in Exeter, basically, where I had a concern that there are other laws in play here and other processes in play with federal, state, funding. And so I didn't, and private development, like you can do exactions, but that lives in the site plan regs. That's where you want to prescribe those things and not have a policy, kind of trump those. So I didn't feel comfortable with those. And the planning board's all on board to do what they can to implement this policy, but it's probably, it was best to remove that. It was best to remove that language. And then we will work on the site plan regs and updating those.
Yeah, and that's just why I asked him to review that, just because there was some, Mr. Sharples had concerns, and then the board had the concerns with him. So thank you. I just want to make sure the public
Thank you for that.
understood that part of it.
Selectwoman Gilman, did you have a question or thought?
No, I'm great. I'm very happy that this is finished up. I've been wanting to have this kind of policy and this kind of thinking since before you were sitting in front of us. So I'm really pleased to see that the development of it went through, and I like the product.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Selectman Chartrand.
So my first question is, what is the process for us approving this? Could we do it tonight?
Well, I was going to ask that question. I would like to do it tonight, but procedurally, is this going to be, is it something that we're going to need a public hearing, or if it's a policy like we've done in the past, what policy? Is it a select board policy, town policy? Is it a planning policy?
It would be a select board policy. So under our policies and procedure 15, page 9, it says the board shall not vote on a policy at a meeting at which it's first introduced. A majority of the vote of the board is necessary for adoptions. Policies are effective as of the effective date determined by the board. So because there were changes to the policy, I would consider tonight to be the explaining it to you in its final version, and then you can put it on either the next meeting or in a future meeting for you to accept it.
And will there be a policy number assigned to this, much like we did with the most recent?
I can certainly do that, yes.
So I would like that cleaned up.
Sure.
We have to wait for a future meeting. I'd like that future meeting to be next Monday.
Sure.
Unless that does not give you enough time.
Nope, that's completely fine.
I think the board is very excited to move forward with this, but procedurally, we have to make sure that we're doing things correctly.
So that was my first question.
Okay.
I had a second one,
Please.
if I may.
Of course.
Thank you.
And a
Mr.
third or
Chair.
fourth if you
No, just two. Two's enough. Dave, can you talk a little bit about how we've, I don't know if tweak is the right word, or moderated the policy to take into account the fact that we can't just rush out and make everything perfect. It has to be as projects come up. Can you talk about that and how you've revised the policy to reflect that reality, that fiscal reality.
Yeah, I'll let Scott chime in as well, but that was when we first started working on it, we, as planners and so forth in RPC and having done enough of these projects in the public sector, we understand the constraints. Like you can't prescribe like a cross section of a road and just say, okay, we're going to do this everywhere, because sometimes it's a square peg into a round hole because you don't have the right of way to do it. There's buildings in the way. There's railroads that, like railroad tracks where you're not changing these things. You're not changing the geometry or the height of them. So you run into issues when you try to design something. So that it's throughout the document that it mentions that. So, you do whatever's practical and possible. For example, doing a, two bike lane, downtown where your shop is, like, doing two bike lanes and, parking on both sides of the street is kind of like a, I don't know if you folks been down the Seaport lately, but they have kind of in Boston, it's kind of as a, you got a wide bike lane, you got a 4-foot place for them to open their doors, so you don't have the bike door conflict, and then you have parking, and then you have two lanes, of traffic in each way, and then the same repeat of the same thing. But you need 70, 80 feet of right of way to accomplish that, and we just don't have that downtown. So that's just one example. Like, you can't prescribe, but you can do whatever. You got to be creative. You got to do sharrows and so forth. So is that what you're looking for? That's
part of it, but the fiscal reality is that we can't rush out and change every roadway in town.
Yeah, this is as projects get funded, as projects come up, we will incorporate. All this does, and it. We've been doing this. I see that the Public Works has been doing this on past projects, like on Hampton Falls Road, Route 88. When they did that, they went. There was no shoulder, so they added a shoulder wherever they could. They lessened the lane width to what the state would allow on state routes, and they painted sharrows and so forth. So they were already kind of doing these things. This policy kind of formalizes that and makes sure that we have a public process. We got a checklist. We invite the stakeholders, identify the stakeholders, have meetings, and they did that on the Front Street on the roundabout. They had several neighborhood meetings and so forth, about the impact and what, the concerns were, and talked about pedestrians and all the different modes of transportation that will utilize that roundabout. So this just kind of formalizes that. I don't know if I'm answering your question again, though.
I'm kind of trying to tease some stuff out here. So this formalizes what we're all, I'm sorry, Scott, please.
Yeah, I was just going to note that the word incremental appears frequently in the document, particularly just in the vision that's spelled out in both the design guidelines and the policy. Incremental infrastructure improvements that support safety, economic vitality, long-term sustainability, and resilience. And in the implementation section, we speak to kind of an opportunistic approach, looking for ways that we can include complete streets elements into projects that are already in the CIP, and then looking at low-hanging fruit, what are kind of best return for dollar invested safety improvements, thinking particularly about crossing safety. So it's acknowledged in multiple places here, and we certainly talked about it in the focus group meetings, that by way of adopting this doesn't mean that everything in here is going to be implemented overnight. It's going to be a process of finding opportunities to incorporate these safety elements into projects as funding becomes available.
So, and this is the last of my multi-part second question, but I do have a third question. I lied to you. So the last part of the second question is, what would be a reasonable time horizon for us to see significant complete street movement forward? Is there an estimate? I mean, I know this is a hard question, and I'm not trying to pin you down, Dave, but I just, what, for folks for pedestrians and bicyclists, when could they expect to see significant movement forward on this?
Yeah, I mean, there's some low-hanging fruit that the MPOC just started evaluating the 50 recommendations in the bike and ped plan, and we're kind of putting them into categories of maybe could do like without low-hanging fruit that might not signage and improving a crosswalk or something to improve the safety of it maybe significantly, but without significant dollars attached. We're identifying those. So right now we got through about a quarter of them at the last meeting, and then we'll get through them all in a few meetings. Then we're going to field trip it and go out to the actual locations and take a look at them one meeting, so that you could see some of that stuff fairly soon.
Because the finances aren't an impediment, because it's
correct,
as you say, low-hanging fruit financially.
But then, are we going to talk, Melissa, talk about the SS4A? Or?
You can. That would be great. I haven't mentioned it yet, but absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So there's a Safe Streets and Roads for All grant opportunity that's open. It's a minimum of $2.5 million up to $25 million. And the deadline is May 26th, and just kind of got wind of it, and I've been working on it now, worked on it for quite a bit today, and that was kind of swinging for the fences here, and pretty transformative project from Continental Drive, Epping Road intersection, all the way Epping Road, Main Street, Water Street, High Street, Hampton Road, which is all one road, but it just changes names as you go.
That's some serious cheddar, to quote Dennis Eckersley. If we were to get
and
that.
then all the way to Guinea Road and up to the cooperative middle school. And we have plans either in the intersection improvement study, the Stantec downtown improvement pedestrian traffic flow analysis, the bike and ped master plan, the complete street study. We have all these kind of areas, intersections concepted. Like we already have concept plans for a lot of these, Holland Way and Hampton Road. So we're putting them all in.
And these complete street principles are going to be embedded in these projects that
you
conceive.
But if we did like complete streets from end to end, which I told you, then would blow the budget. I mean, it's more concentrating on the intersections and providing bike lanes the entire way where feasible, and right away and sidewalk connections.
And what about this idea of trying to find specific pathways for bicyclists and pedestrians, so that maybe we can't fix every street, but we focus on like, okay, here's a corridor that we're going to create that's safe. I know Silas has talked about that quite a bit in the meetings that I've been in with you, Scott. So that's part of the idea.
Well, along that corridor to make every opportunity to that. What we're also looking at is off road connections.
Silas is talking about that as well.
utilizing easements we might have, or cross country, water sewer lines, and utilizing. It's in the infancy stages here, but we're looking at all those connections, because ideally you want to take bikes and possibly peds and separate them from vehicles. Don't have them share.
That's the safest.
That is the safest, so
Getting
can't get hit by a car if there are no cars, the kind of thinking. So we're looking at that too, but.
Let me just ask my last thing, and then I promise.
Four.
No, I think it's three. It was a multi-parter. Number two was a multi-parter. Filibustering here.
And by the way, we do want to hear from the public, but Mr. Chartrand's got 5 or 6 questions.
Well, this is really important stuff. So you just talked, and I just want to tease that out a little more. You just talked about how we have all these great studies now. We have all these great tools that we've purchased and had planners come in. And you talked about the Stantec study on circulation and parking and pedestrian in the downtown, which that fits so well with this policy and with the pedestrian and bike. So they all need to come together, right?
Yeah.
As we have cool plans and money, all that knowledge comes together to create hopefully a great result. That's my question. And that the answer is yes.
Yes.
Asked and answered.
Okay, I'll be quiet now.
Actually, one more.
Thank you,
Please,
Mr. Chair.
Selectwoman Gilman, please.
One of the things that was pointed out in the study or the policy was perhaps changing Portsmouth Ave to just one center lane,
Yes.
which I'm fine with. If it can get us safer biking on Portsmouth Ave and, separate pedestrians more, that'd be great. I'm asking about it only because for some reason, I can't remember, long ago, I was reading select board minutes from before there was the double lane.
Mm-hmm.
And their concern was the intersection with Greenleaf Ave and Portsmouth Ave. Apparently, there were a lot of accidents there. It was before there was a
Green
light.
Street, yeah.
And so they put in that double center lane, and the accidents went away. But I don't like it. I like having just one lane, and I'm just wondering how.
The concept for a redesign of Portsmouth Ave that we have in here is looking at Alumni Drive northward, not necessarily between Alumni Drive and High Street.
Right.
And so
right, I understand
I think you'd need to have an engineer look carefully at those intersections between Alumni and High Street, including Greenleaf, before you.
Is it Green
take
Street
that.
or Greenleaf?
Green Hill Ave.
I thought it was Green
That's right.
Street.
By Walgreens.
Okay.
Green Hill.
Green Hill, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Greenleaf is on the other side of
I should
town.
know. I call them.
Yeah, to speak on that, that project has been in the CIP for a while. I think it's been kept kind of staying, 6 years out, because we wanted a complete street study to be finalized, so now it's finalized, so hopefully that'll start moving closer and be something, down the road.
Yeah, I think what I'm really asking about is do you see any more problems with a single center lane as far as accidents go?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have
I know
to.
Police
people
would
call
have
it a
to.
chicken lane. Yeah.
I guess, like when you look at a whole redesign of that, you look at access management and you're
Yeah,
going to look
that's in the
at,
policy.
the number of curb cuts each property has, and do you take some away? Like I'm not saying we're going to, I'm just, that's what you look at. And
Right.
so then all those come into play of if it is a chicken, because like if there's a left and a right in the same spot, people, there is a potential for that. So I guess I'd have to look at it.
There's so many
Yeah,
curb cuts on that road.
Yeah, it's specific to whatever.
Yeah, but definitely that will be a consideration, doing this.
And I want to let the public speak too.
Yes, just so I don't
please.
forget.
Yep.
This is, it's just a suggestion, and I'm sorry, my voice is going to come and go because of my allergies, but that list you're going through, that you're about a third of the way through, I have a question about, once that's done, is it, some of these CIP items might need to be updated, right? If there's any cost added, unless it can be absorbed. So I'm wondering if for visual, for the public, when we talk about our future CIPs, at least for now, any that get changed, if there's a way to put it in red or something, update that, and what it has to do with, it's an implementation of this, something like that. It literally was just something I thought about. You don't have to worry about it so much as you would have a general idea of the cost, but when it goes to Melissa and when they're putting the budget together, because, if it's $1,000, well, you might be able to absorb it, but we have to be careful because prices go up and then it can jeopardize a project. So I just want to see if there's a way we can update CIP items that are already in the book. And we can show that it's updated and why.
We'll take, we have our first meeting tomorrow, and we'll talk about a process and.
Yeah, it's just something I wanted to throw out there now.
Just so I understand, are you saying because we recognize, projects I mean, site work has just gone crazy lately. And
Yeah,
and it keeps going.
has been,
It's
yeah.
not stopping.
It has.
Hasn't stopped yet. So we update those numbers. Like if a project's in the CIP last year that is 2 or 3 years out, say now it's 2 years out, we update those numbers.
You do. I'm wondering
Oh,
if we
yeah,
could do
yeah.
something, though, that says it's being updated because of the complete streets.
Oh.
Just so that people can see what's being updated. You don't have to do it. It's just
Okay.
a thought I had.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, it's just so that.
That's, okay, I just want to understand. Now I
Yes,
understand what you
yeah, no, I know you update them. I'm just wondering if we could do something that would show
Yep, okay.
progress we're trying to make. I don't know. I'm sure you have better ideas on this, but.
No, that's a great idea. If I may say one thing, just very quickly, the grant that we're looking at, we're hoping to be able to show the grant committees that the community has supported all of these various pedestrian master plans, like complete streets, all this stuff, and putting that street, because it's essentially one long street, it would connect almost all of the schools in town. It would connect multiple 55 and older communities, Sterling Hill, 277 Water Street, Langdon Place, nursing homes. It would connect the rec center all through this major thoroughway of town. And I don't want anyone to think that we're gonna put all new sidewalks the whole way. It would be trying to connect any holes in that street to make a safe passageway through town.
So you're trying to conceive of like a ribbon?
Correct.
Connecting vital nodes.
Correct.
Both residential and commercial life.
That's right. And so we're going, one of the requirements of the grant
And
is to.
recreational, sorry.
Yeah, is to show that the community
Almost
supports
blew it.
that. So the community has invested in these studies. I'd also like to thank RPC because RPC put together, I'm going to say the wrong thing.
Regional Safety Action
There you
Plan.
go. Thank you. Which was also a requirement, and that is allowing us to also, so between our partnership with RPC and all of the community investment in getting the right plans in place allows us to apply for this. It is, like Dave said, it's a swinging for the fences idea, but it would be pretty amazing if we're able to pull it off. So.
Well, my colleague referenced Dennis Eckersley earlier, so I'm just going to say if it's a attempt to swing and hit it out of the park, you are the power hitter I want up at the plate, Dave. So not to.
And this is a good example of our relationship with Rockingham Planning Commission and how invaluable it is. So thank you.
Well, we've enjoyed working with the town on this.
So I'd like to invite any members of the public up to either ask questions or comments, suggestions. Good evening.
Good evening, folks. My name is Silas Richards, and I'd like to speak in favor of adopting the Complete Streets Guidelines. I want to thank the town staff, the RPC, the Planning Board, and the Select Board for advancing this critical guide. Your questions tonight are really showing how much you folks care. This document provides Exeter with a practical framework to make our streets safer, more connected, and more welcoming for people of all ages and all abilities. First, as the town considers the 2026 paving schedule, I'd encourage the Select Board to incorporate these guidelines into the upcoming roadway projects. Doing so ensures that whenever Exeter repaves or reconstructs a street, we're also taking incremental steps to improve the safety for pedestrians, cyclists, motorists, and transit users. This creates a fiscally responsible, consistent, and practical path forward rather than waiting for the large standalone projects. Second, I encourage the town to embrace the thoughtful use of demonstration projects as outlined on page 34 of these guidelines. Low-cost, temporary improvements using materials such as bollards, cones, and paint allow Exeter to test ideas, gather feedback, and refine the designs before making permanent investments. Similar bollards are already in use at the crosswalk outside the building, and we should expand this practice to other problematic areas. I watched a car today attempt to drive over the crosswalk, but was stopped by the yellow bollards that are now installed. Unfortunately, they reversed a little bit and went around them, so if we expanded that, we could clearly delineate where people are meant to go and be safe and cross the street, and where we expect vehicles to be. Seco Strong Towns has submitted 6 potential demonstration projects to the town staff including downtown crossing improvements, traffic calming measures, and bicycle connections between Exeter's densest neighborhoods. Part of the corridor that Dave talked about on 27 is one of those. I would like to urge the appropriate entity to appropriate just modest funding for materials to go towards demonstration projects so that these ideas can be tested quickly and affordably. Third and final, I'd like to encourage the creation of a transparent public dashboard where residents can report unsafe crossings, speeding concerns, and possible infrastructure requests. The Exeter Bicycle and Pedestrian Master Plan gathered valuable input from hundreds of residents, but public feedback should not end with one survey. A modern reporting tool would improve accountability, help staff prioritize concerns, and provide data to guide future demonstration projects, grant applications, and capital improvement projects. Communities such as Portsmouth and Dover have already implemented similar approaches to this. These guidelines are not about doing everything all at once. They're about making smarter decisions, project by project, year by year, to build a safer, more connected, and resilient community for everyone. Thank you.
Silas, thank you for 1 second. I want to just thank and acknowledge you and others for not only your enthusiasm, but your involvement in this process, going to multiple meetings, whether it be select board, planning board, master plan oversight. This is an example of collaboration of the community, and that's how we get these things done. So I want to recognize you and thank you and the others that you've been working with for coming to the meetings, holding us accountable, and moving forward with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to point out that it's recommended in the policy that we try with the cones and things to try the different paths that we might have the motorists and bikes and pedestrians go. And before I was elected here, we did that around the bandstand. We tried a rotary. I mean, what are we putting on Front Street? Roundabout. And it actually worked. I haven't taken a left off of Front Street onto Water Street since I was 17. So, and it really did work, but was not adopted because people thought it didn't work, but there was somebody that was causing a backup, let's say. But, you know, we have looked at them in the past, just haven't had, we have a different, I think we have a different group of people that live in town, or we have a lot of different people that live in town that appreciate this kind of thing. So I'm glad you're recommending or have been watching this, yeah.
Thank you. And I believe the town attempted this on Lincoln Street too before the reconstruction project, and successfully adopted many of those recommendations, including eliminating a 70-foot crosswalk in front of Jerry's. Yeah. So these demonstration projects have a lot of potential. Our primary economic area is our downtown core, and we should prioritize the people that are out walking, spending money in our downtown. So thank you for considering these.
Thank you. Anybody else from the public?
Good evening. My name is Ben Hodgson, 41 McKay Drive. Silas covered most of what I was going to say, but I'd just like to add a couple things. Specifically, the demonstration projects. I'd really like to see, as part of the capital improvement process, demonstrations projects starting as early as possible, while the design process is happening. I'd, bring in a little extra money to do some of these demonstration projects. They're low costs, high efficiency, high safety projects that can really help, and sort of leaving those projects in while the design process is going on until it's really implemented through the CIP. As well as community input. It's paramount on a lot of these projects. So getting involved earlier, getting feedback from some of these demonstration projects. And if there's any strategies other than just, neighborhood meetings within the Complete Streets guidelines, I'm not sure if there's anything, specifically laid out, but some, innovative processes that, could help further further community input would be definitely appreciated. And then I guess this is more a question for Dave. Are there any potential like immediate changes within the site plan regs that you can think of that could have like a big impact right out of the gate?
I have not researched that yet.
Okay.
I've only been back, 6 weeks or so, and been pretty busy, so I have not researched that yet, but I will get to that. Because we just talked about it at the planning board the other day, so I don't know, I don't have a timeline on it. But.
Yeah, that's okay. But that's it, and I would encourage the board to approve the Complete Streets guidelines. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank the board for a good discussion and good questions, Mr. Sharples and, I'm sorry. Please.
My name is Becky Moore, and I live at 5 Nelson Drive, and I just wanted to add to the support of the previous two speakers. I've been really impressed with the way they have contributed to the smaller planning meetings, and I think it's good to see that range of age and experience in our town organization. And I would also like to, I think the dashboard is a particularly good idea, partly because the idea that people in carts, people of special needs, adults who are often lower to the ground and don't have other people like parents with strollers with them. And that was something that came up. And I think that those kinds of things would come up on a dashboard, and I would appreciate seeing that option. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I will tell you, the planning board really enjoyed having them both come talk with us when they did, both Ben and Silas. It was a really good back and forth communication. We need more of that. I agree.
Anybody else? So again, I want to thank the board for your questions and suggestions. Certainly Dave and Scott for the work that you've done. I would have liked to have finished this evening, but procedurally we need to wait till next Monday, but it will be on the agenda next Monday. And Melissa, I'm confident you'll get that polished up for us, and we'll be ready to move forward. Good?
Can I say one more thing?
Please.
It's good to have you back, Dave.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it really is. And at some point, the dashboard idea, if we could look and see what that might take to have a dashboard and the cost.
I can answer that, because all these things, I'll do it now. We talked about, the MPOC was talking about this at the last, extend the thank you to Ben, Silas, and Anna, who didn't speak, but she's been involved as well.
I haven't seen her.
And they've been working with me. We talked about demonstration projects. We're all, I think we're all in favor of them where they're appropriate.
When.
Yeah, when, how to use them, what kind of materials we put out there, because we need it to be safe. We need it to be as maintenance free as possible. Not cones that are going to take multiple times a day going out and moving them back, like adhesives and so forth. So we're working with that group and Steve Cronin to look at demonstration projects. What you said about a public dashboard, Steve Cronin is familiar with those. Okay. We was talking about it, and the ball was in his court to look into, answer your question, what it would take and so forth, and report back to the MPOC. So those discussions are happening, and when they come, they will bubble back
Thank
to you.
you.
Come back to you when.
Because I guess my first question would be when it's time to discuss it, not this evening, but when it's time to discuss it, like who's
I wouldn't know that
manning
they
the
were
dashboard,
talking.
who's what?
Oh yeah,
it's more like you need to do the work and then come back and.
I just want to know about the logistics of implementing something like that, but thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of in its infancy now. We just started the discussions. Steve Cronin's familiar with them, so
great.
Where that goes, well, we'll keep keep us updated.
Yeah.
Go from there.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Man with the answers.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
If we're ready to move forward, thank you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to the public. Procedurally, we need to reappoint folks whose terms are up at the end of April. And I'll run through this quickly. Good night, folks. Thank you.
Good night, thank you.
Good night.
Okay.
So if we're ready, I would entertain a motion to reappoint Aaron Brown to a 3-year voting term on the planning board to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Jen Martell as a voting member to the planning board for a 3-year term to expire on April 2029.
Second.
Oh,
so moved. Sorry.
Second.
And we have a second.
And
Any
yeah.
discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries 4-0. And I would entertain a motion to reappoint Dean Hubbard as an alternate to the planning board for a 3-year term to expire on April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? It's 4-0. I would entertain a motion to appoint Nicholas Norden to the Recreation Advisory Board as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would.
Can I give you one break? Can I just pause in here for
Please.
one moment? Because Stephanie Papaconstantis is not going to stay on the Rec Advisory Board, I just want to thank her because she's been on it for many, many years and has accomplished quite a bit. And I don't mean to, because you being chair, she's your wife, full disclosure, but I'm on that committee, board, and assigned to it, and she has done incredible work. So I just want to take a minute to thank her.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me interrupt.
Of course, not a problem. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Laura Montagno to the Zoning Board of Adjustment as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to reappoint Kevin Baum to the Zoning Board of Adjustment as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Martha Pennell as an alternate to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second. And Mr. Chair, I would like to acknowledge that Martha has been serving on the zoning board since before I was on it in 2005.
Wow. Thank you.
So she's been very active. She stepped down to be an alternate so she could have a little vacation, but
Well-deserved.
well-deserved, yeah.
Thank you for that. We do have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Keith Whitehouse to the Conservation Commission as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Oh, second.
Oh, sorry.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I'd entertain a motion to reappoint Trevor Matera as a voting member to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
We'll let Julie second.
Is a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And I would entertain a motion to reappoint Michelle Crepeau as an alternate to the Conservation Commission for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Pam Jedham as a commissioner to the Exeter Housing Authority Commission for a 5-year term to expire April 2031.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And I would entertain a motion to reappoint Kevin Fleming as a commissioner to the Exeter Housing Authority Commission for a 5-year term to expire April 2031.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Francoise Elise to the Heritage Commission as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
So, sorry, couldn't think of it.
All right, second.
So Selectman Chartrand moved, Selectwoman Belanger seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Kevin Kahn as a voting member to the Historic District Commission for a 3-year term to expire to April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing
Yes.
none, all, yes.
I would like to also acknowledge Grayson Shepherd, who's been our chair for a number of years. He's really contributed a lot to the group, and he will be missed. And that leaves a vacancy, please. Please come see me.
All right, let's start recruiting. And thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain, before I entertain, is there a term limit on the RPC? I don't believe there is.
So RPC for.
Oh, there must be if there's.
Yep.
Annual, they ask us to.
Let me.
No, because Marty's.
Yeah, Marty was 2029. Let me.
So that would be 3 year if we just appointed him, right?
Right, because we just appointed him.
We did. And I was thinking he took someone's place, but it doesn't matter. I think that was already expired, so.
Yeah. I'll do some Googling.
2025, 4 years.
Should we skip over that?
I was going to say, if you give me just a minute, let me.
Okay.
We're going to skip over that. We'll come back to it while you look
Might
that
be
up.
4, so.
Okay. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Don Brizzleton to the Facilities Committee as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Mark Layton as a voting member to the Facilities Committee for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Nick Drinker to the River Advisory Committee as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? I also want to acknowledge and thank Ron Borden for his many years on the River Advisory Committee. Rod is stepping down. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Denise Short to the Sustainability Advisory Committee as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Nina Braun to the Sustainability Advisory Committee as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Did you want to acknowledge Ben on the water sewer?
I never met him, I don't think.
Okay.
So, but yes,
We'd like
thank
to
you for
thank
your
him.
service.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would entertain a motion to reappoint Bruce Jones to the Arts and Culture Advisory Committee as a voting member for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries 4-0.
And I'll thank Dawn for her service in the Arts and Culture Commission.
Thank you. And also want to acknowledge and thank Jerry Hamill for his work on the Tax Exemption and Credit Advisory Committee. Jerry's stepping down. And finally, before we get back to Ms. Roy, I'd entertain a motion to reappoint Darius Thompson as a voting member to the Train Station Committee for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I would entertain a motion to reappoint Anthony Calandrello to the Train Station Committee as an alternate for a 3-year term to expire April 2029.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Joanne, you can flip a coin on that one.
Yep.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Roy.
As governed by RSA 3646(3), commissioners are appointed by selectmen for 4-year terms except when more than one position is filled at once, in which case the terms are staggered.
So it's a 4-year term?
Correct.
Okay.
But there's two.
But there's
There
two.
are
But
two.
they both expired in 26. So
So
based on what she said, they would exhaust in 2030.
Except for when there's two, they should be staggered. But I do not know what Rockingham Planning has decided, so if you'd like, we can bring this back for next week, just that one piece, because it has that one sentence in it.
I guess I'm comfortable doing that, providing they're not meeting between now and May 4th. I wouldn't think they are.
But no, they're not.
No.
Okay.
Marty was going.
You okay with that?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so Melissa, if you could make a note for that.
Yep.
I think I got all of them.
Yep, you did. Except that one.
Ready to be an auctioneer now after that. So I'm ready to be an auctioneer now after that.
You are.
So I'm going to turn it over to you, Madam Clerk.
Okay, so just please bear with me if I need to get a drink.
Can I interrupt 1 second?
Of course.
Because I
Say
want to
that.
thank and acknowledge Pam McElroy and Melissa Roy for formatting this a little bit
You took
more
it, yep.
easily
They
you
did.
to do that.
Yeah,
Do you need
even
some water?
offered to make it a little larger, but this is good as long as I don't forget my glasses.
Do you need some water?
I have it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, ready. So I move the following abatements. Map 110, Lot 2, Unit 84, in the amount of $316 for the tax year 2025. Do I get a second?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Is there a
No.
way? No, you can't. Okay,
Nope.
sorry. Go
I
ahead.
already have them all marked.
Okay.
Map 110, Lot 2, Unit 84, in the amount of $278.91 for the tax year 2024.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 110, Lot 2, Unit 84, in the amount of $311.08 for the tax year 2023.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 110, Lot 2, Unit 84, in the amount of $360.11 for the tax year 2022.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm a little confused with the discretionary. It says not attached, will submit when we receive.
So this is, I didn't really should put this on there, sorry. This is the country club discretionary easement. We will be bringing that back to you. We've got all of our documentation being worked out through both legal
Okay,
matters. I'm
so
not quite
I don't have to
sure.
table it or anything, can I just jump right off of
I
it,
would,
over it?
yeah.
Thank you. Okay, veterans credit. I move map 73, lot 78, unit 3, and map 95, unit 64, lot 15, each in the amount of $500 and each for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I've got 4 of them in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. All veterans credits. I move map 19, lot 16, unit 103, map 38, lot 12, map 72, lot 118, and map 84, lot 105, unit 34, each in the amount of $500 and each for the tax year 2026.
So moved. Second.
There we go. We're both doing it. It's okay.
You said 84,
Teamwork.
but you meant 64, right?
I'm sorry. What did I?
On the fourth
Oh,
one.
the map number?
All right. I'm going to correct map 64, lot 105, unit 34. Is that good enough?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And I move map 95, lot 75, in the amount of $1,000 for the tax year 2026, with a notation that there are 2 veterans, and that's why it's 1,000.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, next are elderly exemptions. Map 104, Lot 68. Map 95, Lot 64, Unit 149. Map 95, Lot 64, Unit 105. Unit 15. Map 103, Lot 7. Map 95, Lot 64, Unit 280, all in the amount, or each in the amount of $198,000 in each for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I move the following: map 87, lot 18, unit 46. Map 104, lot 79, unit 16. Map 95, lot 64, unit 104. And map 52, lot 44, each in the amount of $238,000 for each for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm going to move the following two denials. Map 104, lot 79, unit 301, and map 95, lot 64, unit 308.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
For disability exemptions, I move the following: map 96, lot 2, unit 9. Map 99, lot 31, and map 61, lot 15, each in the amount of $125,000 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I have a change in current use assessment for map 97, lot 41, for tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
None of these are the same, so bear with me on this one. Educational exemptions. Map 71, lot 119, unit E, in the amount of $62,300 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Map 108, lot 1, in the amount of $337,100 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, lot 204, unit 1E, in the amount of $545,200 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, lot 162, unit E, in the amount of $1,193,200 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 64, lot 42, in the amount of $1,277,200 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 83, lot 87, in the amount of $1,492,900 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 64, lot 46, in the amount of $1,540,100 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, lot 198, in the amount of $1,602,200 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 64, lot 43, in the amount of $1,861,800 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 64, lot 61, map 64, lot 41, Unit E, in the amount of $2,864,500 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 62, Lot 112, in the amount of $3,555,000 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 71, Lot 119, Unit E, in the amount of $4,934,800 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, Lot 169, Unit E, in the amount of $23,366,500 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, Lot 208, Unit E, in the amount of $26,616,800 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 83, Lot 1, Unit E, in the amount of $29,884,000 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, Lot 209, Unit E, in the amount of $30,888,800 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I move the following religious exemptions. Map 72, Lot 165, in the amount of $665,200 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 72, Lot 222, Unit E, in the amount of $1,029,300 for the tax year 2026.
So moved. Oh, second.
It's a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Got it.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I'm missing the rhythm here.
It's okay. It happens. Map 72, Lot 166, Unit E, in the amount of $1,495,000 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 83, Lot 60, in the amount of $3,359,200 for tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And I move the following charitable exemptions. Map 35, Lot 4, in the amount of $553,400 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Map 69, Lot 5, in the amount of $760,300 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
And
Motion carries.
finally, map 72, Lot 9, in the amount of $1,515,800 for the tax year 2026.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you
Melissa,
both. Very well done.
these changes really did make a difference going through them, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And the font is better, so good.
Perfect.
I very much appreciate it.
No problem.
Well done.
Thank you, Nancy.
Thank you.
And well done,
With all
Councilwoman Gilman, with your seconds.
Moving things for
You kept that rhythm. Okay, I believe we have Steve Cronin, our Public Works Director, on Zoom.
We do.
I'm here.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Can you tell us briefly about the surface water treatment plan final design?
Sure. So back in 2024, Public Works began advancing plans for a new surface water treatment plant, recognizing that the existing facility is well beyond its useful life and struggles to consistently meet current drinking water regulations. At that time, we secured a $500,000 loan from the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund to begin planning and preliminary design. That work is currently underway and has included evaluating sites, piloting treatment technologies, and refining project costs. In August of 2025, the project was placed on the state's priority list, and the town was awarded up to $2 million to move into the final design phase. Earlier this year, at the 2026 town meeting, voters approved Article 6, supporting this next phase and confirming the town's commitment to the project. Tonight's request to the board is the final administrative step needed to access that additional SRF funding. Specifically, we're asking you to amend the existing loan agreement to increase that total up to $2.5 million, which will allow us to complete the final design phase.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Cronin?
Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Then if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion to amend the DWSRF loan agreement with the New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services for surface water treatment plant design in an amount up to $2,500,000 and to further authorize the town manager, interim town manager, or select board chair to sign the associated loan application, agreement, and disbursement request documents.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. And then we have the paving services for 2026, please.
Yes. So earlier this year, Bell and Flynn submitted a proposal to extend their paving services contract with the town. In their letter, they acknowledged ongoing cost pressures, but offered to hold most of their pricing steady for another year to provide stability to the town. Over the past several years, we worked with them under similar pricing, particularly for machine paving, and they've maintained those rates again in this proposal. We reviewed the proposal, compared it to current market pricing and some other bids across the Seacoast region, and we found it to be competitive. So we're recommending extending their contract for an additional year.
Any questions for?
Just, Mr. Cronin, Bell and Flynn has really been really good with keeping these rates reasonable. That we haven't seen a lot of large increases in a while.
No, so I mean, paving costs have increased since 2018 when we first started working with them. There are allowances for escalation for things like asphalt and fuel in the contract, but even with that escalation, we're still below the current market prices. So they really provide, a competitive price and a great service to the
Yeah,
town.
thank you.
Thank you. They have.
Yes.
Any other questions for Mr. Cronin? Mr. Cronin, I have one. Remind me how to pronounce this word. Is it bituminous?
Yes.
Okay. There are no other questions, since I have to say it 3 times. I'd entertain a motion to extend the contract with Bell and Flynn LLC for paving services for 1 additional year at the following unit prices. Item number 1, bituminous concrete pavement machine method, $71.90 per ton for binder course, $72.90 per ton for surface course, $73.90 per ton for urban compact surface course, $74.90 per ton for cul-de-sac street and leveling course. Item number 2, bituminous concrete pavement hand method, $175 per ton. And item 3, bituminous concrete curb/berm, $5 per linear foot. And to further authorize the interim town manager or their designee to sign the associated contract documents.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Cronin.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
And finally, we have the annual request from PEA for their graduation services. This year, their graduation is going to be Sunday, June 7th, presumably in 2026, commencing at 10:30. And they're looking to have traffic stopped on Front Street between Tan Lane and Elm Street, and on Tan Lane itself. and they're requesting that flow of traffic be stopped from between 9:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. And then in the case of rain, they would need to hold graduation in the Thompson Fieldhouse and therefore request to close off Court Street instead of Front Street for those times. The Academy is making arrangements and will pay the cost of police and temporary barricades. So very straightforward. Are there any questions?
Looks like all appropriate department heads have signed off.
That is correct.
Approved. So no, I don't have any questions.
Okay. So I would entertain a motion to approve the application for road sidewalk request from Phillips Exeter Academy for Sunday, June 7th, 2026, between the hours of 9:30 a.m. and 1 o'clock p.m. for the 2026 graduation to block off Front Street between Tan Lane and Elm Street and Tan Lane itself, and in the case of rain, close Court Street instead of Front Street.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ms. Roy, I'm going to ask you, if you would, to give your town manager's report. And while you're talking, you're going to have my attention, but I'm going to get a little bit of water.
So just wanted to give the board an update today. The train station committee had applied to Plan New Hampshire for a planning charrette, and they were awarded, they were picked as the summer charrette. That will be on August 7th and 8th, and Darren and or the train committee will be coming in the next few weeks with an update as well as a draft MOU when it's final. They're waiting on SAU 16. They'd like to use Lincoln Street School as part of that charrette, but that's pretty exciting. I know, Julie, I think you spoke with, was it Darren or Dawn, about we had done a previous charrette.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is an exciting next step. I know, Dan, you're on that committee, so pretty great.
This is Julie.
And Julie, yep, excuse me, sorry. And then we did receive a question from a resident regarding the drought status. We are continuing to monitor it, and DPW is going to be coming on Monday, May 4th, which is next Monday, to give us a formal recommendation as to whether or not that should be changed. One thing they are considering right now is that one of our water tanks is being cleaned and repaired. So they didn't want to make the change this week just in case of an emergency. Nothing is wrong with it. It's just annual cleaning. But they will be coming on May 4th to make an official recommendation.
Bless you.
That's all I have for today.
Okay. Select Board Committee reports. We'll start with Selectwoman Gilman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just had 2 meetings this week, and I'm going to let Mr. Chartrand talk about the Facilities Committee. And then for the 250th Commission, we have a couple interesting things that are coming together. We've been talking with Memories Ice Cream about helping us out with the community picnic, which is in July. They're going to come up with a ice cream for us.
Oh, that's neat.
That's cool.
And Swampscott Soda is also going to do a special label. And then I just want to say a couple things about what has been going on in the House. I think you've all heard that the open enrollment bill was killed for schools. But I want people to understand that after we voted to inexpedient to legislate, there was a motion made to table it. So we have 5 weeks left in the session. I think May 14th is the last day for us to act on Senate bills. It can come off the table in the next couple of meetings. So just be prepared that might change, but I don't think it will.
Okay.
I think the vote was pretty clear. And then for the planning board, this is something, and for the fire chiefs and police chiefs, there's a bill that passed and the governor is going to sign it that doesn't let us set a maximum or minimum or maximum on any development road, on any road. And we can't limit the number of houses that would be on a dead-end street. And we will allow utilities to be in the easements that come with like an open space development. We can put in the septic and electric out in there unless there's wetlands. I don't know,
I don't know if sometimes they pass these bills, but it doesn't affect us because we already allow it. So I don't know.
Well, these
I'd
aren't-
have to look, I don't have our zoning.
Well, I know that the fire chief is sometimes concerned about the length of a dead end or cul-de-sac or something like that. As far as the number of units, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's the radius that usually comes up in the planning board.
Exactly, and that was the problem with it. It doesn't, it's not exclusive to cul-de-sacs. It's, any street can be that long, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I still think they'd run into a problem if the fire trucks can't
I know.
do a radius, then I think that there's still gonna be a protection there.
There are, I don't know, there are so many things.
Look at the language.
I know. Yes, you should look at the language. My committee somehow is stuck in limbo. We have 8 bills that we're supposed to be working on, and our chair hasn't called a meeting. And we have to have the committee reports by May 7th. So something's happening there.
Shenanigans, I say.
I would say, I think it's
probably the best way to
arm
put it.
wrestling in the Senate. That's what it is. So.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you. Selectwoman Belanger.
So I had a Housing Advisory Committee meeting on Friday, the 17th. We had it a week later than we normally do. We had an ongoing discussion and collaboration for workforce housing, possibly with the Exeter Housing Authority. Megan Spencer, one of our new members, suggested ways to get, right now we're waiting for, Doug Eastman to give us a inventory of available land in Exeter, and then Megan would like to try to do something with Exeter TV, possibly on like a kind of our own charrette without it being a charrette, right? Saying this is what we have available, and what would you like to see if we had an option to do something with that. We have a proposed proclamation that we still haven't talked about. We all got an email like months ago.
Yep. I thought we were doing that for May 4th, excuse me.
Are we going to do it for May 4th? Okay, I wasn't sure. I brought it.
That's what we were talking about with May.
Because it's,
Yeah.
all right, I just want to know where we're at.
Because this was municipal clerks, and then we were doing.
Perfect. I just want to make sure because we'll have to do it if we all agree to do it. Okay, great. And then they talked about the plan charrette, which I don't need to talk about. And we had a legislative update on housing, which nothing really was happening at that point. And we're excited because we have a new member. A new planning board representative, so I don't have to play a dual role, and we have another voice in the room, so that's exciting. And then I had a planning board meeting on Thursday, the 23rd of April. We had one application, Planning Board 263, case number, and it's for where the existing dry cleaner is on Portsmouth Ave. It was a great discussion. We have the board overall had some questions and asked for some clarifications. As of right now, the applicant felt that they could be ready with those answers for the next planning board meeting, which is scheduled for May 14th. So that's tentative until I see an agenda. I don't like to say it's coming. They might email and say that they aren't ready or need some more time. I'm done.
Okay, great, thank you. Selectman Chartran.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm going to describe 2 Conservation Commission meetings that took place, one on 4/14 and one on 4/22. And across those two meetings, the Concom discussed with Fort Rock riders some trail work that they were proposing. And there was a framework kind of created with the help of Kristen Murphy for the Concom to approve the Fort Rock riders going ahead with some trail revisions, and also at least one new trail, but maybe two new trails. But the framework involved working hard to close off existing trails that have suffered significant erosion or wear. So the two groups kind of agreed to move forward with the new trail work and the revisions of trail work, with the hope that the old trails that are somewhat, not somewhat, extremely eroded would no longer have use, and we could kind of rotate away from them and let them rest. So that's kind of the Conservation Commission approved that concept in the meeting on the 22nd after discussing it on the 14th. And then the chair, Dave Short, went out with the Fort Rock riders in between those two meetings, and he kind of confirmed that what they had talked about was indeed how they were going to go forward. So it was a great series of meetings with a great decision by the Conservation Commission to really tap into this very knowledgeable knowledge and work that's available to us from the Fort Rock Riders Club. I was really proud of the Concom and the Fort Rock Riders for the kind of the way they negotiated and worked together respectfully. Great town, great municipal stuff. There was also, as Melissa mentioned, a train station committee meeting on 4/16, where a lot of work was done to begin planning for this input session or charrette that's going to happen on August 7th and 8th. And then I attended I guess it's not a groundbreaking that we did, but we did
progress ceremony.
What was it?
Progress ceremony.
We did a progress ceremony, and both our chair, Nico, and our interim town manager, Melissa, gave great talks at that, and it's amazing how much progress they've made on this new public safety building out on Continental Drive. So that was wonderful to be there and to witness that. And then finally, there was a facilities committee meeting that Julie referenced on 4/22 at 5:30, and there was some wonderful discussion. One of our members, Don Brizzleton, is working with Julie at the library to really try to get to the bottom of some of the HVAC problems they've been having, and they're making significant progress. Don and Julie are working together. That was great to hear. And then Melissa was there, and we also talked about kind of moving forward with the space needs assessment and how we are going to try to do that. So it was a great meeting. Very grateful that you were there, Melissa. Thank you. And that's my report.
Great, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I attended the tree committee meeting on April 14th, and the chair, Eileen Flockhart, was here this evening, so I won't get into talking about Tree City USA, but we also talked about the Arbor Day celebration that I'll talk about in a second. And I also want to promote a joint collaborative effort between the Tree Committee and the Swayze Park trustees on May 16th out on Swayze Park from the hours between 11 and 2. There's going to be a celebration and a birthday party for the birch tree that's out there. So we're hoping people will turn out. It's going to be special, and the trustees are involved, but the tree committee is really taking the lead, and so I think that will be fun.
I have pictures.
Of
when I was 16 on my 16th birthday.
You should tell Eileen.
Oh, I would, but she'll yell at me for being in the tree.
No, she won't. She won't. Because we have other pictures like that. And then on the 22nd, I attended the Swayze Park trustee meeting. That was a site walk. We talked about the 16th. Eileen was there, and we also talked about some of the coastal resiliency work that's been done. Darius is the rep to that from the trustees. I represent the select board. And then they just talked about some maintenance that they're going to do. Skipping around a little bit. On the 20th, I attended the America 250 flag raising along with Selectwoman Gilman. And that was sponsored by the Exeter 250 Celebration Commission. I want to thank the commission for putting together, a very festive half-hour flag raising. I'd like to thank Public Works for their cooperation in helping raise the flag. I'd like to thank Exeter TV for being there. And acknowledge and recognize the speakers, Reverend Emily Heath, Renee Allen, Tanisha Johnson read a very moving poem. Selectwoman Gilman spoke. I spoke. And
I did not.
Most importantly, the kids that were there from the two elementary schools and the high school that sang and unfortunately left before Selectwoman Gilman and I could remind them that they are future leaders and that we have full confidence that they're going to be exceptional leaders. Attended the public safety celebration with everybody. Also want to thank Exeter TV for being there. I want to particularly thank Chief McCain for the tour that he gave and the work that they're doing to really brand this and make this something special. So finally, April 25th, which was Saturday, was the Arbor Day celebration. We read the proclamation. Selectwoman Gilman gave us a history of
the mass tree riot,
which was really good, actually.
1734.
Good turnout, and if folks haven't been out to Rains Farm, please go out and look at the exceptional work that's been done.
And the safe stairway down to the cow barn.
And I know he doesn't like it, but I'm going to give a shout out to Keith Whitehouse because he did some great work on the stairway. So thank you, Keith. And I think that's it for me.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
if I may. I just wanted to follow up with our resident that came in. I just will continue to get you guys information, but I've set up a meeting tomorrow with Madison and Doug. But Madison was able to forward me some information, and she has been in contact with the property owner. So it sounds maybe like there's a disconnect between the information getting to the person renting. But I will get to the bottom of it, figure out what's going on. But I just wanted to let you know that Madison, as recently as today, has been in contact with the property owner. So
Thank you.
We'll continue to get more information.
Okay, great. Just keep us updated.
Absolutely.
I know you will.
Yep.
Before we go, do you want to, Melissa, you didn't talk about the DE at the water treatment meeting in Epping?
I did not.
Do we want to let the public know if they want to?
I don't have the dates in front of me.
I do. I wasn't being rude. I was listening to reports. But so the date is actually tomorrow. That's why I wanted to. But this email is like backwards, so please bear with me. So the meeting, there's a public hearing tomorrow, and it's going to be at the American Legion, Richmond A. Mitchell Post at 232 Caleb Highway in Epping. The first part of this meeting is going to be from 5:30 to 7. New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services will be holding a public information session during that time, and then they're going to have a public hearing at 7:15 p.m. afterward. So I apologize. They literally put the first part at the bottom and the second part at the top. So there's that. And also on Wednesday night, just for the public to know, there is a forum at our town hall for anyone who wants to go talk to Beth Israel Leahy about their acquisition. They're looking for public input. So that's at our town hall starting at 4:30 to 6:30. Thank you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that.
Kind of late.
Correspondence, we have the calendar of all the exciting things that the Exeter 250 Celebration
great. Thank you.
Commission event will be doing through July, as well as our NHMA legislative bulletin.
Mr. Chair, can I hop in on the NHMA
Please.
thing? I think people should read the two that are in here. The last one is more recent and more applicable because there are outstanding bills that are still being worked on in the Senate. And for the municipal bills, I wish that you would read them and sign in remotely.
Okay.
Because they went through my committee. There's 4 of them, and I will just read the titles. HB 1234, identifying certain school district offices as incompatible for purpose of school district elections. Basically, it's anybody who works at a school can't run for school board. Establishing a biennial school district local tax cap question and related limitations, et cetera. They want to put this question every other year: do we want a tax cap on the ballot, the federal election ballot? So we have town meeting where we deal with all town stuff in March, and then we have November elections for our federal delegation, et cetera, and they want to put it on that one. So people can be confused. I know.
Right.
HB 1319, oh my goodness. I'm trying to not to show my opinion here, but it's about a local fiscal accountability committee that we could adopt. And the purpose of it is to, I guess, comb through the budget and default budget yet another time, even though everybody's already got a two-step process anyway. And the funny thing about it is that they want to save money, but these people would be elected. And it makes a third layer of government, so, smaller government or not. And then HB 1355 is eliminating the default budget altogether. Just no default budget. Just vote it, budget up and down. If it fails, use last year's budget.
Wow.
If it fails the next year, you're still using.
Wow.
Yeah, it's still, wow.
Eliminating anybody, any position that's been open for a year or more.
And you were pulling that information from
The NHMA.
So it's in the correspondence in the back of our packet.
Yep.
It's Legislative Bulletin 17.
Right.
And it's dated April 24th, 2026.
Right.
And it's on the 3rd page at the bottom.
Yep.
Thanks, Julie.
Those are big ones. They all came through my committee, and I can't believe they made it through my committee.
Thank you for highlighting those and
People have reasons.
finding the page for us. Board calendar, just a reminder, to May 14th at 8 a.m. We have a special, quick 2 or 3 minute meeting.
Yep.
And then for our regular meetings, May 4th, May 18th, June 1st, June 15th, June 29th, July 13th, July 27th, August 10th, and August 24th. Good? Okay.
Yep.
If there's no other business before the board, I would entertain a motion, please, to go into non-public under RSA 91A 32A and D.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please.
Selectman Gilman.
Aye.
Selectman Chartran.
Aye.
Clerk says aye, Mr. Chair.
Aye, the motion passes 4-0. The board will be moving into non-public. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online